The reports were that the Colts requested that Taylor report early for a medical assessment, but Taylor viewed the request warily. This according to Stephen Holder's reporting, believing that it is in part an effort to pressure him into returning to the field. When he did report, Taylor allegedly complained of back and hamstring pain, adding to the Colts' concerns. Taylor publicly disputed this. Taylor remains on the PUP list and intends to practice when he's fully healthy, but his feud with Colts brass appears far from over, writes CBSSports.com. Team owner Jim Irsay, who's downplayed Taylor's value, spearheaded a refusal by the club to negotiate a long-term contract, has also indicated that he will not honor Taylor's private request to be traded. Jim Irsay took to Twitter in the wake of the reporting about Taylor's anticipated return. The tweet, quote, "Most things I worry about never happen anyway. Taylor is absent. Backup Zach Moss is injured. Deion Jackson and recent veteran addition Kenyon Drake have been in the backfield instead." Look, this is the deal. Running backs can make a stink. They can ball up their fists, yell and scream, stomp their feet. But at the end of the day, you only have as much leverage as your value outside your situation. You know, these players think that if they're not being treated well where they are, or to what they believe is well enough, that there's automatically going to be somewhere else that's going to give them exactly what they want. And look, sometimes that's true. Sometimes there's a Miami Dolphins that gives Tyreek Hill all the money the Chiefs won't. But sometimes what you think you're being unfairly treated by is not any different anywhere else. And I think running backs are learning a very difficult lesson here. They feel like they are undervalued. They feel like they are underpaid. They feel like they are poked and prodded about their physical wellness, maybe more so than other positions. But when they look around and they say, trade me, I want to get paid elsewhere, and there's no other bidders, nobody wants to trade for them, the harsh, cold reality is, I guess there's not another option. I've got to return. Saquon Barkley was this way. You're going to have to pay me. You paid Daniel Jones. You're going to have to pay me. You're going to have to pay me. You're going to have to pay me. At the end of the day, the Giants didn't budge. I won't accept the franchise tag. I might just not even report to camp. And ultimately, he reported. Took the franchise tag, and such is life. Austin Eckler, trade me. I need more money. Trade me. I need more money. Outside the Chargers organization, there wasn't any interest in Austin Eckler. The offseason, the Titans even reportedly tried to shop Derrick Henry. And whatever the price was, there were no takers. Now, Jonathan Taylor's a really good running back. Really, really good running back. But if he thinks he's going to get treated much differently somewhere else, he's sadly mistaken. And I think that's the harsh reality that all these running backs are coming to. We're PO'd, we're upset, we're disrespected, yada, yada, yada. But when they look outside their organization for the grass being greener, it's not there, and they have to come back. And so, if I was an agent of a running back, I would try to calm the nerves of all of these guys every single day, because these running backs grew up in a football atmosphere where they were the studs. And when you're 12 years old and you're the fastest, strongest guy in the football field, you're the hero. Everything revolves around you. You get the ball every play. You score the touchdowns. You crush your Pee Wee team. And then you crush on modified. Then you crush on JV. Then you crush on varsity. You get recruited, and all these colleges want you. And then you go to a D1 power conference college. And again, you're the man. You're getting carries. You're getting touchdowns. Everybody wears your jersey. Getting held up by the offensive lineman in the end zone. The highlights are always about you. You get drafted to the NFL, and you assume because your entire life you've been one of the studs of the stars that continues. And when you get to the NFL and becomes a business, and so now you're being compensated by money, and now you see the end of your career, because in high school and college you don't see that. You're still in your teens or 20s, and so there is no end to a career there. It's only the beginning of your life and your career. But you get to the NFL, and suddenly there's an end to this productivity or this earning power. You start getting spooked. You start getting scared. You start going, well, I'm worth more than this, and you just wait and see. If I were one of these guys' agents, every single day, I would try to massage the ego, because it's never going to be in line. You're going to have guys from here on out in football. Maybe the game changes and swings back to the star running back, but maybe not. Until it does, you're going to have to massage expectations versus reality with running backs. Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, two of the best in the NFL. They yelled, they screamed, they pouted. But at the end of the day, they came back. They didn't get a better deal. Not a cent more. I mean, Saquon Barkley would have got $1 million more than the franchise tag, or about that, but there's also guarantees involved. So it's basically the same deal. He could get franchised again next year if they want to. Both these guys are two of the very best in their physical primes, and they feel like they're being, manipulated or exploited, but they both came back to the same exact situation with nothing gained. Their expectations are never going to meet reality here on out. It's just not going to happen. And with young people that are wealthy, successful, with egos, with confidence, that want to be the man, that have been the man, it's going to be difficult for everybody from here on out. Again, until the league changes back, if it does. Because the blueprint is set. And once GMs and owners start saving money, they don't oftentimes go back and say, you know what, it's not worth it. Let's stop spending the money. If they can save money on running backs, they're going to do it. And they've seen bad contracts like the Ezekiel Elliott contract, and they don't want to replay that. So all these guys are going to be dynamic young running backs and expect to be taken care of, and they're not going to get it. They're not going to be taken care of. And running backs need to start thinking like punters and centers, like the positions on the football field that don't get handsomely rewarded. And it sounds weird because you'd say like, well, a running back's way more important than the punter, but it's the reality of the situation where every one of these guys is going to be replaced by the time their rookie deal is up by the next rookie. And all these teams are just going to keep channeling through and funneling through rookie contract running backs. It's a cheap alternative, and it's going to work. It's like Amazon with free shipping. It's like, when will you ever feel good about paying for shipping again? You just won't. You'll be like, Walmart has had to do it. All these other corporations that do shipping have had to find ways to manipulate cheap shipping. Sign up for this for free shipping on this order. If you get to $100 or $50, it'll be free shipping. Amazon changed everything, and now that's what we expect. The running back game changed, and now owners and GMs are not going to go back and start paying running backs. It's not going to happen. And so they have to change their outlook, and it's going to make them all look so silly. Jonathan Taylor's going to come back and have earned nothing. Now, what Jonathan Taylor just should do is come back for week 1 of the regular season. Every running back should do that. I mean, to me, that's a fair compromise. If you're not going to give these guys any more money and you're not going to extend them, and so their earning power is basically the first 4 years of their lives, and maybe a year or two after that, the first 4 years, rather, of their NFL lives, and then there's a franchise tag for 1 or 2 years after that, they should not have to take a carry in the preseason. If you don't want wear and tear on their bodies, they don't want wear and tear on their bodies. They should not have to take a snap in the preseason. So, you can treat them like quarterbacks, and they go through non-contact workouts, whatever, and you just have taxi squad guys take all the carries and the reps during practice and during preseason games. But Jonathan Taylor shouldn't have to play in the preseason, nor should Saquon Barkley, nor should Austin Eckler, nor should Josh Jacobs. None of those guys, they've proven their worth. They don't have to play in the preseason. They should be able to report when they want to report, avoid their practices and their whatever, and then they show up week 1. Now, that hurts them from a conditioning standpoint. That's on them. If they rip their ACL or their Achilles in week 1 because they haven't been stretching out and working out and getting in game shape during the preseason, that just screws them and their careers. But, Jonathan Taylor shouldn't have to play in the preseason, but he also shouldn't expect anything different financially. It's not there. It's not there for any of them. There's nowhere he can go where he's going to get that.